I pursue a career in yoga or whatever, you know,
Yes.
the creative side of my life, I said, I don't think I could feed the family. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, on the other hand, you know, I think of Jesus and you know, and all the fish appeared when he needed them. I said, I'm a little insecure there. I don't think the fish are going to appear when I need them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm getting. You know exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So, at one hand, I want to use my creative skills. On the other hand, I'm lucky to clear $3 a week on selling books. You know,
Yes.
I'm not going to make it. You know, so
Yes.
you know what I mean. So that's a
So-
little conflict there.
Until we have that confidence, we should use logical mind.
Yeah. Okay.
We should prepare.
Yeah.
Prepare for livelihood, so that you have freedom to do creativity, even there is no money made.
Right.
So this is
That's
what
what
I
I'm
chose. Like this, I'm free. I don't want to make any more money.
Right.
Just enough to sustain the things.
Sure.
I don't want to throw away my teaching indiscriminately to those who are not worthy. But I'm not looking for any gain. So I have freedom to be creative,
Right.
you know. So, but when you have pressure to produce so much, then you lose your creativity. And this is happening with so many yoga studios. Yoga teachers who open the
sure.
studio,
Whatever it
they're
takes
so
to
much
make money.
preoccupied by paying the bill. They cannot be
Yes.
creative. They squat into
Yeah.
the trap and they invent immoral ways to attract children. You know, they make up new kind of yoga. So
Yeah.
it's not right. Going back to hoarding, you know, Larry said
Yes.
he will come next week, he wants to come.
Okay.
But I told him on the face, in the meditation room, all the books, he took it. I said, all the collection you had for so many years, have you ever read? Or somebody says, how about you look up 74 newspaper, can you find it? You cannot find it. And that's what he knows. And he says, he's putting in the storage and I won't see it again. So intellectually he knows, still I cannot do it. And this is true with all of us. So many things we know intellectually, but our sanskaras don't allow us to do.
Yeah.
So by seeing that so many times, I have more of compassion than blaming someone.
Yeah.
You know,
As I age, I think, you know, I would not want my son to have to deal with, you know, too much stuff, you know. You know, in the event, you know,
Right.
that
Right.
I'm incapacitated or pass on.
It's a good thought pattern. I like it. It's considering
Kind of
him.
a little morbid, but no, it's
No, it's-
realistic.
No, it's right. It's a good
It's
thought pattern.
realistic.
You're considering
Yes.
him, which is nice.
but
Yeah.
children observe the parents and learn it. So we don't have to teach them how we live, they pick up
Yes.
in a young age.
That's true.
Well, I don't know if I had shared this with you, but my son had a heart attack and almost
You
died.
told
Did
me,
I tell
yes.
you?
Yes.
38 years old. Major wake-up call.
And a policeman, right?
Yes, but he was a very angry individual. That was why I could not stay following the storm with him for
Yes.
very long. But he's changed his demeanor. I wanted to recommend to him yoga,
Yes.
and I will, you know, when I see him next,
Yes.
because I think he would benefit from it.
Anger is a driving force with a lot of policemen I know.
Yeah.
It's a driving force. Because then they get to take it out. I just watch them battle.
But he treated me really poorly when I was there, and you know, I know through his experience, you know, he had many regrets. His demeanor has changed, hopefully permanently. You know, for his sake first.
Heart attacks help you like that.
Yeah. People choose the profession depending upon deep desire.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Deep
it's
desire. So somebody
Yes.
has aggression, they choose
Control.
that. So many firefighters, you know, they cause the fire. They
Oh,
join
they love the fight, right?
because they love the fire. So they join and they cause
yes.
fire. It was so hard to believe.
I
Yeah.
know. Right. It's a good point.
So many psychiatrists, you know,
Need help.
Well,
they
say
are
that
seeking and they become psychiatrists because they are seeking some, they are investigating.
And they say the suicide rate amongst psychiatrists is very high.
They're the craziest people I've ever met. I've
Yes.
dealt with a psychiatrist, craziest person I ever met. He said to me, you know, you only have so many weekends left in your life. And he's talking to me, and I was in my 20s, and I'm like, what? You're a psychiatrist? I'm like, you need help, buddy. This is the guy who's a nutcase.
Yes.
Absolute nutcase. I don't know what
Yes.
happened to him, but I was like, you need psychological help. Craziest people I ever met.
Yes. On the other hand, psychiatrists love philosophy. So many Indian psychiatrists, they like my books somehow.
Right.
It's just something intellectually they relate. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
they relate to it nicely.
They're stimulating, but
Yes,
they
too.
always miss the one thing.
Yes.
Going into
They use
meditation.
same thing for escapism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Jean, any topic over here? Bring up.
When I was an alcohol and drug abuse counselor in training, one of the courses that I took that I enjoyed all of them, but there was one course that I took that I forget the title of it, but it dealt with the how counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists helped or didn't help their patients. And one of the things that came out of that course that I thought was absolutely amazing, and I applied it in my life to just about everything, is that statistically they said that 1/3 of, say, the alcohol counselors helped people. 1/3 didn't help at all, and the other third hurt. Actually hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nullifies.
had a negative impact.
Yep.
And to me that was like a staggering statistic. And it went on to deal with the idea that, you know, counselors, therapists don't give advice. I mean, you know, a lot of people go to, say, a counselor to be saved. And you're not really there to tell them how to live his life or do this or do
Nope.
that. You're there to help them find their way. And people that go into these fields, they think they're going into it
Fix you.
to save people. They're gonna save these alcoholics and drug addicts, and they're gonna save these depressed people and this and that and the other thing, you know. And I've got a particular instance in my life right now with a friend of mine who was dying of cancer, and while he's in the hospital, his wife of 8 months, who is a psychiatrist, divorces him. Now, and she worked for the Army as a psychiatrist for years, dealing with PTSD.
Right.
And then after that, she and her husband, who died, they both were the same PTS special psychiatrist. Then they went to work for the VA. And this woman, who I had done various jobs for through my friend, construction jobs, she's a nutcase. And she's a psychiatrist. I mean, she's out there. And here's my poor friend dying of cancer, winds up in the hospital after getting out of esophageal cancer.
Yeah.
You know, they cut apart part of his stomach,
Yeah.
rebuild his thing, you know, like always. Yeah.
So he lived.
So he lives.
Okay, and she divorced.
He lives, and then he's at home with no help. I mean, he's up in New York City going through this horrific operation. What I'm going to go through is a walk in the park, and compared to this, you're a real inspiration to me. And while he's in New York, you know, having his guts taken apart to rebuild his throat that they cut apart, and she tells him, he gets the papers that he's getting divorced. What kind of psychiatrist does that?
Yes.
I'm like,
No morals.
holy shit.
No morals, no ethics. Right?
You know, so he comes home and he breaks his foot in the shower. I mean, snapped it, and was in, you know, and he's trying to shut down the sign shop, and just none of the people that were on his payroll for years came to help him, did nothing with the sign shop. His wife divorces him. You know, I thought he was going to die for sure.
Yes.
And I'm like, geez, unbelievable. Back to the psychiatry thing.
Yes.
You know, I know this person. You know, I know her professionally. I know her from
Yes.
doing jobs, working on her house for her, and I know her through my friend.
Yes.
And she's a psychiatrist trying to help veterans like me.
Yes.
And she's a nutcase. Absolute nutcase.
So I derive 4 different things from your story. First thing, those who become psychiatrists, they follow what is taught by the pioneers, and they follow along. They don't have their own thing. So they want to identify with Freud or this or that. So they are following that lineage, and they add on to that. That's first thing. Second thing, all of the therapists, they give you all the treatment that is outside of themselves, instead of going inside and feel for yourself to heal yourself.